Hi, everybody. I want to introduce myself. I'm Allie Pfeiffer. I run NaturalliWell. I'm a company based out of Frisco, Colorado. And I just want to share my story. I have a background in traumatic injury as well. So when I was 19, I was working on being a professional water skier and suffered a really awful accident. I wiped out at 30 miles an hour, basically landed sort of face first Superman in the water and tore all the muscle connections from my neck to my waist on the front of my body. Then my feet got caught and I did the exact opposite and tore everything from the back of my skull to my waist as well. So I was temporarily paralyzed from the neck down. I had a couple years of recovery, but it's interesting because what I truly understood was all the pieces that go along with this. The traumatic injury is one piece, but there's a psychological impact to it as well. That's what I experienced. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that. From a practitioner standpoint, I have a background in helping heal traumatic injury, and a lot of that comes from my own experience dealing with my mindset post-injury, how I reapproached water skiing again, and just all the pieces that it affected of my life. So for probably another 20 years after that initial injury, every activity I tried to do that got me about 30 miles an hour would create an overwhelming panic in me. I did water ski again, but I would be doing all right, and then the speed piece would come in if the boat got a little faster, and I would just have to let go of the rope. I just would hit this panic and almost flash back into the accident. It happened not just in water skiing, it happened in snow skiing, it happened in rollerblading, riding my bike. I was competing on horses. So anything that I got around 30 miles an hour, it would trigger the panic response and I would just want to stop whatever it was doing, or I had to slow down back to a speed that I could regain composure. So there's definitely a psychological piece to that. The other thing, I would have a little movie playing in my head that was kind of always like reminding me I was injured. It would be sort of on a loop, and it would be like, oh, don't bend like that. Oh, don't move like that. Oh, that might hurt. Oh, your back. Oh, your neck. So there's a lot of things that happen, and it initially is set up as a guarding mechanism to keep you safe. So a lot of the systems of the body will be created post-injury just to avoid a re-injury, but they're not always helpful. Initially, when we're in pain, it prevents us from having more pain often. But once you've recovered more, that movie is no longer valid and it's no longer helpful. It, in fact, holds us back. So when we have this recurring piece of the puzzle that keeps playing our injury or warning us, that's what we focus on. So I'm also an energetic healer. So one of the things that happens when we keep saying, oh, my knee hurts, or oh, my back hurts, something about that actually draws the attention and draws the injury to the draws your energy to the injury and keeps it an active injury. Even though you might have recovered, it focuses on that. And so when we are out trying to redo our sport or be active and that's there, our focus is on my knee might get hurt or my knee might be weak. Maybe I can't do that. And we actually create that reality. So it's another piece of that puzzle that as a practitioner, I can tell you need to be aware of and try and change how you talk to yourself. That self-talk piece is huge on recovering. So look at what you say to yourself on a regular basis about your injury or about your physical being. You need to start saying, I am strong. I can do this. And you're not conning yourself. You literally are changing the energetics around an injury. So that's a really key piece. It doesn't mean you can, suddenly, climb on top of a building and go, I'm going to fly. We're not doing that, but we're just reinforcing within the body that we're strong, we're resilient, we're recovering, we can handle this. And that also goes for the mindset piece. I've seen a lot of you talking about trying to get back out on the ski slope. So the other thing is I'm now a ski instructor. So I have gotten back out. I water ski and now I snow ski again, and I work at Copper. And so there are definitely times where I might be in terrain that's challenging for me, or a situation where the little movie starts to replay in my head again about, oh gosh, don't fall forward, or, oh, I start to have a little bit of that fear. And I've gotten really good now at catching myself before I let that whole movie play. And I'm like, no, I'm fine. I've skied, a million times before. I'll ski a million times again. What is the likelihood today? This is what's going to happen. I'm going to fall again. And if you can kind of play with the reality of what is likely to happen versus, what have I been successful at? How many days have I skied successfully before my injury? I have a background, I have a success rate, and you work with yourself in that. That's a really helpful way to address it. It doesn't mean you won't have moments of trauma and that you won't experience fear. That's actually healthy to a point, but you don't want it to overcome your ability to reason with yourself and say, no, I'm doing all right. I can do this. What are the odds that I'm going to crash today? Not that high. I had one day where I had my injury, but most of the other days were super successful. So go with the odds in your favor mindset, and reinforce in your body that you believe you're strong and you believe you're healthy. And then just be aware of your surroundings, but do it from a place of confidence and not a place of lack or weakness. That will really help your outcome be better. So I hope some of these tips helped you. It comes from a place of being right there with you all and having recovered from quite a lot in my life too. So I wish you all much luck.